thank you to all the trans activists that are making us look so civilized. It's really, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Radical trans liberation, what is that? Enter women's spaces. That's what that is. I'm going to just change my... Okay. Okay, I've got you. Hi everyone.
It's really lovely to see us. Such a massive crowd, and we're all on the same side, and we're growing. Every week there are more of us. Every time we post there are more of us. So I want to continue where another speaker left off, and I want to talk about kids. So we've seen how dangerous it is to construct this idea of a trans child, to label some children with some identity problem that needs medication and surgery. These children have distress. They need to be treated for distress. That is not to say that we need to provide them with untested interventions like changing their names and pronouns and telling them they can invade the toilets that belong to the children of the opposite sex. We do not know the full impact of these interventions, but we strongly suspect that they lead them ever closer to surgery and medication that remove adult sexual function, fertility, mobility. These are serious, serious interventions that nobody would wish for their children. We must limit the number of children being fed into this sausage meat grinder. Having dealt with the idea of the trans child, which is a nonsense, I want to talk about the idea that there are children who have innate paraphilias, children that have autogynephilia. Now, No! Kids aren't kinky!
Kids aren't kinky! Exactly. So what is a paraphilia, I wondered. So I looked it up, and it means, and bear in mind, this is something that teachers and so-called safeguarding experts are claiming was present in a 3-year-old, a toddler. A paraphilia is any intense and persistent sexual interest other than sexual interest in genital stimulation or preparatory fondling with phenotypically normal, physically mature, consenting human partners. So the basis of a paraphilia is that it's a sexual desire for something that isn't a consenting human adult partner. 3-year-olds can't even conceive of a sexual desire. It's not something that's present in a 3-year-old. It's never present. Their brains aren't capable of conceiving it. Always, when people argue this, ask yourself, who benefits? Who benefits from arguing that 3-year-olds have paraphilias? Kids aren't kinky. Now, some of these adults are trying to justify adult choices that they make because they want to claim they've got no power over their compulsions. Fetishes and trans identities are the result of many thousands of choices that they have control over. Adults must take responsibility for the choices that we make. Sometimes we make bad choices. We've got the right to make bad choices. We try not to make bad choices that can't be undone. Choices that are made in service of a sexuality that was allowed to develop and mature is not something that these children are ever going to have, because they're being prevented from developing and adult sexuality. Puberty is a window, and once we pass it, there's no going back. Adults are trying to obscure the sexual nature of their compulsions. They're using pornography that encourages the idea that they have no control over what they're doing. They're in a position where they have no power, but power differences matter. The power difference between men and women matters. The power difference between adults and children matters. Who benefits? Who benefits from obscuring those power relations? Children are actually not in control. That's why we must safeguard them. Their emergent sexuality should be allowed to develop in a natural manner at their own time, at their own pace, without the nefarious adult interference which is being pushed by this horrible ideology. I've got more to say, but I'm going to finish here. Read Dr. M's essay on forced teaming. Don't fall for it. Who benefits? Kids aren't kinky.
Right, the end to this little bit of song is "It's surely like being a tough." Are you ready? What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's surely like being a tough.